कितना स्लीप होना चाहिए न्यूबॉर्न पीरियड में फर्स्ट 3 मंथ्स में, बिकॉज कई बार पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं कि मेरा बेबी तो 6 आवर्स स्ट्रेट सो गया एंड नाइट में नहीं सो रहा है, या फिर बेबी स्लीपिंग 20 आवर्स 22 आवर्स। तो ओवर द पीरियड न्यूबॉर्न पीरियड से 3 मंथ्स तक क्या स्लीप एक तो पैटर्न होना चाहिए, और दूसरा स्लीप ड्यूरेशन, डे टाइम स्लीप एंड नाइट स्लीप कैसा ड्यूरेशन होना चाहिए?
So in the first month, they can sleep anything between 18 and 20 hours a day. In the second month, about 17 to 18 hours. In the third month, about 16 to 17 hours. In the fourth month, about 16 hours in the day. Many parents say ki my baby will never sleep so much. You know, if we follow early sleep cues, short wake windows and holding for naps, और अगर हम नीचे नहीं रखते हैं, they sleep.
Yes.
And you know, so many parents come to me and they say my child is only sleeping 15 hours in the day. The minute we fix their wake windows and we start holding for naps, the next day they are sleeping 19 hours.
The moment a mother delivers the baby, everyone says वेलकम टू स्लीपलेस नाइट। आपने भी सुना है, मैंने भी सुना है, और सब सुनते हैं ये। सो बेबी स्लीप इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक फॉर द पेरेंट्स एंड वेरी I think troubling topic also, because people don't know the basic. So to discuss basic and baby sleep, we have Himani ma'am here, who is best-selling author of her book Sleeping Like Baby. So Himani ma'am, I welcome you to this episode, and please help us understand why did you choose this field of the baby sleeping, and please introduce yourself little bit.
Thank you, Dr. Sumitra. It's great to be here. So, हुआ ये था कि, you know, when my daughter was born, you know, newborn phase में तो सब कुछ chaotic होता है, it's okay.
Yes.
Then at 3 months, she was sleeping really well. And my husband and I thought, oh my God, we have hit the jackpot. Okay, and we have this miracle baby. We are rockstar parents. She was sleeping through the night. वो पूरी रात सोती थी और मैं जग के देखती थी कि क्या हो रहा है, वो इतना क्यों सो रही है. And तो हमने सोचा कि अब तो you know लाइफ सेट हो गई है और कोई ये बेबी स्लीप का कुछ ड्रामा नहीं होता है. But then जब वो 4 महीने की हुई तो फिर सब कुछ बिल्कुल चेंज हो गया. So suddenly she was waking up every hour in the night, and I was waking up and I was Googling 4-month-old not sleeping, what is happening? Of course, later I realized that there is something called the 4-month sleep regression.
Yes.
And she had hit that. Now, at the same time, 2 other things happened. A family friend from the US visited us and she gifted me my very first baby sleep book. So I read that book and I realized, oh my God, there's more to baby sleep than meets the eye. So I got so fascinated. I started reading everything I could get my hands on. The second thing that happened was that I met a former schoolmate of mine, Neha Bhatt, who had a son about a year older than my daughter. And she was as passionate about baby sleep as I was. So she and I co-founded a Facebook group, Gentle Baby Sleep India, together. That was now almost 10 years ago. And the group just, you know, it grew because actually इतना बड़ा pain point है, right?
Yes,
सभी
yes.
parents को like you said ये बहुत trouble करता है baby sleep, और जो internet पे जो information है that is very conflicting, not reliable,
Yes.
right? And a lot of it is from this very western sleep training culture जिसमें बहुत separation होता है. There's no co-sleeping or bed sharing, babies को cry it out या less crying, but basically it's all that kind of method which is very separation based, very non-responsive. And yet there is a new movement now even in the West which is very pro bed sharing, very gentle, very holistic. तो इसमें अब हम किस तरफ जाएं, right? So it's very confusing for parents. So we started this Facebook group and it just grew. Even now it has 60,000 members. It's very active. You know, every day new members join. There are lots of queries. Now, along the way, I decided to study baby sleep more formally. So I did with an institute in Australia. I also became a leader of the La Leche League, which is an international non-profit that supports breastfeeding. And Neha and I were both originally writers. So we co-authored Sleeping Like a Baby, where we encapsulated everything that we had learned. I also started to offer a few one-to-one consultations, some workshops. I'm also now doing some postgraduate research at the University of Durham in the UK. They have a very pioneering Durham Infancy and Sleep Center founded by Professor Helen Ball, who is the pioneer in this space. So under her. So I think I have just found my calling. I feel very passionately about this. I want to help babies. I want to help parents navigate this maze, this bhool bhulaiya of baby sleep. There is an art to it. There is a science to it. There are traditional practices. There is modern scientific research. और इस सबको नेविगेट करना, इस सबको समझना और फिर अपने इंस्टिंक्ट्स को समझना एक आर्ट है. एंड आई फील दैट पेरेंट्स नीड इंफॉर्मेशन, दे नीड काउंसलिंग, हैंड होल्डिंग. इन सब चीज़ों का एक कॉम्बिनेशन हम सबको चाहिए. एंड दैट इज व्हाट आई ट्राई टू गिव पेरेंट्स नाउ टुडे.
And ma'am, you are inspiration for me. That's why I did my sleep expert course, and I am helping the parents to
That's wonderful.
Navigating through these confused online information. So confused about the wake window, about the normal sleep and everything. Like when parents come to me, they don't know about the basic things about the baby sleep. So let's start from there actually. So what is a normal sleep look like for the newborn baby? Let's say the baby born and the baby is now like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. What is the normal sleep look like?
So I think the biggest thing that we need to understand is that newborn babies are not born with a circadian rhythm, which is our internal day and night clock. So we have a clock that tells us it's day and it's night, and at night our body produces melatonin, which is the sleep hormone, right? Now newborns don't have that, and their body doesn't produce any melatonin. Now they receive some melatonin in the womb and from breast milk produced at night, right? One of the very interesting things about breast milk, right? That there's no melatonin during the day. There is melatonin at night. But newborns don't have circadian rhythms. That circadian rhythm develops between 2 and 4 months of age. तो उसके पहले चाह के भी we cannot give them a schedule. We have to be baby led. Sleep when the baby sleeps, right? तो अब इसका ये मतलब नहीं है दैट वो किसी भी टाइम जगे हुए हैं और किसी भी टाइम सो रहे हैं. उनका एक इंटरनल अपना क्लॉक होता है, एंड दैट्स डिफरेंट फॉर एवरी बेबी. सो द फर्स्ट स्टेप इज आइडेंटिफाइंग दैट मेरी बेबी का नाइट स्लीप कब आ रहा है. It could be starting at 5 a.m. and ending at 3 p.m. It could be starting, if you are very lucky, at 8 p.m. and ending at 6 a.m. It could be starting at 2 p.m. and ending at 12 midnight. पहले हमें ये identify करना है that which is that deeper stretch of sleep where we can easily put them down, where they don't wake up, only for feeds they wake up, right? That is their night sleep. And that is when we should also try to sleep, right? The rest of the time is their day sleep. And that means that they are going to have short wake windows, wakeful periods, and naps. And in those naps, they can't be put down. They have to be held, right? Slowly, their circadian rhythm will develop between 2 and 4 months, and they will start coming into a more normal pattern. रात को सोना और दिन में जगना, राइट? धीरे धीरे होता है. इसके पहले इवन इफ वी ट्राई जगा के रखो या दिन में लाइट में रखो, रात को डार्क करो, इससे अभी कुछ नहीं होने वाला है, क्योंकि उनके पास हार्डवेयर ही नहीं है फॉर दैट, राइट? सो इट्स बेस्ट टू जस्ट फॉलो देयर लीड. बिटवीन 2 and 4 months their circadian rhythm starts to develop. So I would say there are 2 very critical things to remember in this period. One, babies need short wake windows. Babies get overtired. इसके बारे में I'm sure हम और भी चर्चा करेंगे. But babies are very sensitive to overtiredness. ज़्यादा नहीं जगा के रखना है. We have to learn early sleep cues. Rubbing eyes, rubbing ears, looking glazed, starting to root a little bit. Or when they show early cues, we have to put them to sleep. Babies will not sleep on their own when they're tired. ये भी एक मिथ है, राइट?
yes.
कि जब उसको नींद आएगी वो अपने आप सो जाएगा.
हाँ.
This doesn't happen. हमें सुलाना पड़ता है, right? So we have to identify those early sleep cues और हमें उनको सुलाना है at that time by feeding them, by rocking them, right? So this is the first critical thing. Don't let your baby get overtired. And their wake windows are very small. Like in the first month, anything from 5 minutes to 30 minutes max. 30 minutes. At 3 months, it'll be like 30 minutes to 75 minutes. That's
yes,
it, right? Now, the second critical thing is babies need physical contact. Human babies are born at a very early stage of development, very early stage of gestation. They need to sleep on us. So, many newborns actually needed night and day, but at least during the day, they need contact. वो bed पे नहीं सोएंगे. If you try to make them sleep on the bed, they will either wake up immediately. They will either wake up immediately or they will wake up 20 minutes later and then they will be overtired, right? So we don't have to zabardasti make them sleep on the bed. We have to make them sleep on us. It doesn't always have to be the mother. It can be the father. It can be a grandparent, any caregiver, right? Raat ko they can sleep on the bed next to us, right? So, of course, safe bed sharing should be followed, but they do sleep best when they are next to the parent, right? Because that is how the human infant is designed. They have a survival instinct that if they are separated from the parent, their nervous system goes into an alert state and they cannot sleep. Now, this is again one of those biggest things that nobody tells us about.
Yes, yes.
कोई बताता
कोई
नहीं
नहीं
है.
बताता है.
That your baby is only going to sleep on you.
And that's why the most frequently asked question in our group and in our app, they ask, ma'am, the moment I put the baby on the bed and they wake up and they don't sleep at all.
Yeah.
Like, what should I do? I'm tired of like that's
Holding.
why this question comes.
And the thing is that it is very normal. Okay. You have to look at just our closest cousins in the animal kingdom. Look at monkeys, gorillas, apes, right? You will never see a monkey baby sleeping somewhere on some leaves.
Yes.
They will always be clinging to the mother and sleeping. And even our traditional practices, when you see 200 years ago, even now in our villages, in our farms, in our tea plantations, you know, in tribes, the baby is wrapped to the mother all day, to the front or to the back, feeding on demand, sleeping on demand. Humans are carrying mammals. We are supposed to carry our babies.
I grew up in a village and I was like that only.
Yeah.
I was
tied to the mother all day.
Yes, same way. And now also I see whenever I go to my village, they held their baby very closely.
Yeah. So this is the thing. So this is very normal. इससे कोई गोदी की आदत नहीं होती है. हाँ, बिकॉज ये सबका डर रहता है कि गोदी की आदत हो जाएगी.
तुम इतना
इट विल बिकम अ हैबिट.
इट विल बिकम अ हैबिट. फिर तुम्हें छोड़ेगी नहीं बच्ची और तुम कुछ काम नहीं कर पाओगी. These are the things the parents hear actually.
But there is no such thing. Babies outgrow it on their own with time. It's a milestone. It's like saying कि you know अपने 6 महीने के बेबी को गोदी में लेके नहीं घूमो क्योंकि फिर वो कभी चलना नहीं सीखेगी.
Yes.
अब obviously 6-month-old or a 5-month-old has to be carried around, but a 14-month-old will walk because that is the natural development. So the same thing happens with sleep. Right now they need holding. Right now they need, you know, godi mein sona. But around 8 to 10 months, they outgrow this, right? And then you can put them down for their daytime naps, right? So this is the other very critical thing about newborn sleep. So I would say understanding no circadian rhythm, overtiredness, not letting your baby get overtired, and holding them, giving them contact. And I would say lastly, feeding very frequently. Babies do feed very frequently. Feed them on demand, feed them frequently. There is no overfeeding. Feed karo. And especially with breastfeeding, that breastfeeding is serving many purposes.
Yes.
It is not just food. It is comfort, it is soothing, it is sleep. Yes, bond, but and also sleep. So there is an American anthropologist, James McKenna. He's called the father of biologically normal infant sleep. He's the founder of the Mother-Baby Behavioral Sleep Lab in the US. We were very honored that he wrote the foreword for our book as well. he coined a term along with his colleague Lee Gettler, breast sleeping. He said what babies do is not sleeping. It is not breastfeeding. It is breast sleeping. They sleep on the breast. That is how they are designed to sleep. That does not mean your supply is low. That does not mean the baby is not full. That does not mean your baby has a habit of sleeping on the breast. They are designed to sleep on the breast, right? So please, without any worries, without any hesitation, go ahead, breast sleep, let your baby feed to sleep, let your baby feed to sleep, sleep on the breast, feed frequently, there is no problem. So I would say this is the kind of headline of how to manage newborn sleep.
Right. Now coming to the second most frequently asked question by the parents, that कितना स्लीप होना चाहिए न्यूबॉर्न पीरियड में फर्स्ट 3 months में, बिकॉज कई बार पेरेंट्स बोलते हैं कि मेरा बेबी तो 6 hours स्ट्रेट सो गया एंड नाइट में नहीं सो रहा है, या फिर बेबी स्लीपिंग 20 hours 22 hours. तो ओवर द पीरियड न्यूबॉर्न पीरियड से 3 months तक क्या स्लीप एक तो पैटर्न होना चाहिए, और दूसरा स्लीप ड्यूरेशन, डे टाइम स्लीप एंड नाइट स्लीप कैसा ड्यूरेशन होना चाहिए?
A great question, because the sleep requirement is quite high.
Yes.
So in the first month, they can sleep anything between 18 and 20 hours a day. In the second month, about 17 to 18 hours. In the third month, about 16 to 17 hours. In the fourth month, about 16 hours in the day. Many parents say ki my baby will never sleep so much. You know, if we follow early sleep cues, short wake windows and holding for naps, और अगर हम नीचे नहीं रखते हैं, they sleep.
Yes.
And you know, so many parents come to me and they say, my child is only sleeping 15 hours in the day. The minute we fix their wake windows and we start holding for naps,
Yes.
the next day they are sleeping 19 hours.
Yes.
In the day, right? So it's very simple. That's how much babies need. And if you give them the conditions for that sleep, they will sleep that much.
Right. And what about the balance between the daytime sleep and nighttime
Yeah.
sleep? Because I have read somewhere that, of course, we cannot force the baby to sleep more or less in the daytime, but we have to balance
Yeah.
the daytime sleep and nighttime sleep. Otherwise, it will disturb the
Yeah.
overall sleep of the baby.
Absolutely. And daytime sleep is extremely important
Yes,
for
yes.
babies as well. Now, like I said, in the first 2 months, the division between night sleep and day sleep is not very clear because they don't have their circadian rhythms. So it's a little bit fragmented, their sleep. I would say their night sleep can be anything between 10 to 12 hours and their day sleep can be anything between 6 and 8 hours in the first 2 months. After that, once a little bit of a routine starts to form, after 3 months especially, the division becomes a little bit clearer. Then their night sleep is about 11 hours and their daytime sleep is about 6 hours. After month 4, again, it's about 11 hours plus about 5 hours during the day. So overall, their night sleep remains between 10 and 12 hours in the first year, and their daytime sleep remains between 4 and 5 hours in the first year.
बट कुछ मदर्स बोलते हैं कि माई बेबी स्लीप्स इन द डे एंड दे कीप देम अवेक इन द नाइट. दैट इज द मोस्ट ट्रबलसम इशू फॉर द पेरेंट्स, एक्चुअली न्यू बॉर्न पेरेंट्स स्पेशली. बट कुछ बच्चों में होता है कि दे स्लीप, लाइक माई डॉटर यूज टू स्लीप इन द नाइट प्रॉपरली फर्स्ट 3 months, एज यू सेड दैट बहुत ही अच्छे से सो रही है, डे टाइम में अच्छे से नैप ले रही है. ऑल्दो आई फॉलोड द फंडामेंटल पिलर्स ऑफ द बेबी स्लीप, बट स्टिल, बट फ्यू पेरेंट्स दे कम टू मी दैट ओके डॉक्टर साहब, मेरा तो बेबी दिन में तो पूरा लाइक 9 बजे सोएगा और शाम को 6 बजे उठेगा, बट फिर वो 6 बजे का उठा हुआ रात को 2 बजे तक जगा होता है और 4 बजे सोता है, ऐसे करके. सो व्हाई डज दिस हैपन, लाइक डे टाइम स्लीप इन द इनिशियल मंथ्स, फर्स्ट 3 months, कि वो दिन में सोते हैं और रात को जगते हैं?
So, like I said, they don't have circadian rhythms, right? So, with some babies, that might actually be their clock, right? Where they are sleeping during the day and they're awake during the night, right? So, to an extent, that can be normal also. And wo dheere dheere, as the circadian rhythm forms, it becomes better, right? But very often the cause is that these norms are not being followed, right? So we are not holding for naps.
Yes.
We are not watching the wake windows, right? उससे वो स्केड्यूल स्लिप होने लगता है. तो very often what happens is कि because we are not holding for naps, those naps are very fragmented, right? And those naps are happening at night. तो अभी क्या है, बेबी का डे एंड नाइट रिवर्सल चल रहा है, राइट? और जो डे टाइम नैप्स हैं वो हमारे नाइट टाइम में चल रहे हैं. नाउ वी एज द पेरेंट्स वी आर नॉट होल्डिंग फॉर नैप्स. तो हम हर बार जब बेबी सो जा रही है हम उसको नीचे रख रहे हैं, बेड पे रख रहे हैं. तो एज अ रिजल्ट उसके नैप्स बहुत फ्रैगमेंटेड हैं और बहुत स्प्रेड आउट हैं. सो नैप्स शुरू हो रहे हैं लेट्स से एट 8 PM. And because हम consolidate नहीं कर रहे हैं, we are not keeping the windows short, we are not holding for naps, those naps are also ending the next morning at 8 AM. And then the night sleep is beginning after that. Ab the next night, the same thing is happening. Instead, 8:30 the daytime is starting, 8:30 in the night the daytime is starting.
Yes.
Again, the naps are too spread out. And so the night is starting at 9 AM the next day. इसको हमें reverse करना है. And the way we reverse it is by consolidating the naps. So we have to do the short wake windows, we have to do the holding, so that slowly the schedule starts to shift in the other direction, right? And it won't be कि एक दिन में suddenly वो reversal ठीक हो जाएगा. It will be कि अगर आपका अभी बेड टाइम 7 AM हो रहा है, 7 बजे सुबह आपका बेड टाइम शुरू हो रहा है, वो धीरे धीरे होगा कि 1-2 दिन में वो 6:30 पहुंचेगा, फिर 6 पहुंचेगा, फिर 5:30 पहुंचेगा, और ऐसे धीरे धीरे वो नॉर्मलाइज हो जाएगा along with the circadian rhythm developing. Now what you are saying actually happens even with older babies. Very often parents come to me with a baby who is 6 months old, 7 months old.
Okay.
With a full reversal.
Okay.
हाँ, क्योंकि actually ये काम शुरू में हुआ ही नहीं.
अच्छा,
right?
okay.
So because these norms were not put into place, the baby's day-night reversal actually didn't get sorted out at that time, right? So the principle is the same. Even at that point, we need to understand what are the wake windows, what are the number of naps, and slowly shift the bedtime backwards. This has, I have done this with many families. I've supported many families with this. ये हो जाता है ठीक. And if there is any kind of reversal of the type that you're saying, or like you said, parents come to you and say, मेरा baby दिन में सो रहा है, रात को नहीं सो रहा है. Apart from this circadian rhythm thing, अगर वो किसी और टाइम पे ये हो रहा है, it is 100% due to some imbalance in the wake windows and naps.
Yes.
And as soon as that imbalance is fixed, this is fixed. तो it is not to do with वो दिन में जगा के रखो तब रात को सोएगा, उससे तो बिल्कुल सत्यानाश हो जाएगा.
Yes.
Okay, please don't do that. Please no जगा के रखना. हाँ, it has to be a very step-by-step approach to following the wake windows and the naps, and that clock will automatically shift.
Yes.
We have to just support the baby on that.
Yeah, I have seen this, and I did just minor changes, as you said, in the wake window and the bedtime, and we have shifted like 30 minutes earlier. And we followed that proper bedtime routine, and with the wake window, like the moment it is like fixed, and then the baby will sleep very well.
Yes.
In the daytime they will have a proper bedtime routine, all those things actually. So this is true. So now coming to the fundamental pillars of the sleep, like I followed my for my daughter since day one. I followed for my son also, although that time I was not aware about the sleep management properly, but
instinctive. It's quite instinctive, actually.
Yes, one thing I did right was holding him for the naps, even the night sleep also, till I think 2.5 years.
Okay.
वो मेरे ऊपर ही सोता था या मेरे husband के ऊपर ही सोता था, and that was like very peaceful sleep. बहुत अच्छे से सोता था वो, and same thing I followed for my daughter also. So what are the 2-3 fundamental pillars the parent of the newborn baby should follow so that the sleep management can be easy for them in the long run?
So like I said, they should follow wake windows, holding for naps. If baby wakes up, put baby back to sleep, right? Bed sharing at night, feeding very frequently. From the beginning, you can institute a bedtime routine, right? Which means a series of steps that you take every day just before bedtime to signal that bedtime is coming. So it could be a bath, but a bath is not mandatory. It could just be a wipe down, a wash up, a sponge, followed by a light dry or cream massage, changing into pajamas, putting on the night diaper, holding baby and just chanting good night, saying good night to various things, to baby's toys, other family members, just the moon, the rooms in the house, and then reading some books. Bedtime reading is very magical.
Yes.
And then playing music and feeding the baby to sleep. And if baby needs rocking, that's fine too. So a good bedtime routine is very important. Apart from this, not at the newborn stage, but by 3 months, 3.5 months, babies become very aware of their surroundings. So they're very easily distracted, very easily stimulated. So we need to start making the room dark for them, both day and night, right? So night to shuru se aap dark hi rakho. It helps with the circadian rhythm development also. After 2 months, it helps with the circadian rhythm development. But even during the day, after 3 months, as their awareness grows, you need to make it darker and darker.
Okay.
So during the day, at 3 months, चलो पर्दा बंद करने से भी हो जाएगा dark. But by the time your baby is 4 months, you need blackout.
Yes.
So you will need to put black chart paper on your windows or blackout film on your windows. Even just blackout blinds or blackout curtains will not be enough. You need a full blackout because even a shadow on the wall, even a speck of light, even just the AC light, being able to see our face is enough to keep them awake.
Yes.
And then you will miss the boat on that early stage of tiredness. And baby will be overtired, and also then they don't complete their naps. So they wake up very early from their naps. So post 3.5, definitely post 4 months, daytime naps also need to be in pitch darkness. This is a game changer.
Yes.
It works like
was for
magic. Yeah. So very often parents come to me and say that, my baby is taking just 30-minute naps during the day. What do I do? Even if they're holding, even if they're doing contact, 1-2 naps thode lambe ho jayenge, but still that nap total they are not hitting, right? The minute this change is made and the room is made pitch dark, I usually get a message the next day saying, oh my God, it's been 2 hours. My baby is still sleeping. Should I wake her up? What should I do? Because the baby's actually catching up on that lost sleep now with the dark room, So it's very magical. So I would say that's another norm to keep in mind after month 3.
Right. And now you have mentioned the wake windows. So what should be the ideal wake window as per ACE? And you mentioned another term is contact naps and bridging the naps. So how the parent should do that?
Okay, so just to explain what a wake window is, right? How does overtiredness work?
Yes.
Just imagine that you've gone out in the evening and, around 10 o'clock, you've gone out with your partner and you say to your partner, I'm feeling very tired, I want to go home now. And your partner says, chalo, abhi dessert khayenge, abhi chalte hain. So by the time you wrap up, you get back home, you get into bed, it's midnight, right? Now suddenly you're not feeling tired.
Yes.
वो नींद उड़ गई. Okay, so now you are lying in bed, you're unable to fall asleep, right? So what happened here? At 10 o'clock, your body signaled to you, I'm tired, I want to sleep now.
Yes.
But for whatever reason, we couldn't let the body sleep. So what should the body do? What is the coping mechanism of the body?
Stress.
Right? What does it do? It releases a stress hormone, cortisol. It's like the body is saying, Acha, you're tired, here's a cup of coffee. Wake up, right? But imagine you've had a cup of coffee and 1 hour later you are trying to sleep. That's very difficult.
Yes.
Now, we as adults will still somehow manage, but it will not be a good quality sleep.
No,
it will be a restless, disturbed sleep. Right? Babies are affected by this 10 times over.
Okay.
So if a baby has cortisol in the body, in the system, it's like the baby has had 3 cups of coffee, right? And the baby cannot sleep. So we have to be very careful to not allow this cortisol production. Now, this has 2 aspects to it. And these 2 aspects will cover the 3 points you've said, wake windows, contact, bridging, right? So the first aspect is the wake window. So this is your baby's battery life, right? Their capacity to stay awake. And it's different at every age. So it's different at 2 months, 4 months, 8 months, 1 year, right? 2 years. Their wake window keeps increasing. So let's say if your baby's wake window is 2 hours, that's around 6 months.
6
okay.
months, huh.
So at around 1.5 hours, your baby will show you early sleep cues. Early sleep cues are things like rubbing eyes, rubbing ears, pulling hair, looking a little glazed, averting the gaze. It's like a little haze that comes over the baby. Now, if you see those cues and you immediately pick up the baby, take her into a dark and quiet room, feed her to sleep, rock her to sleep, she will fall asleep easily and she will sleep well.
Yes.
If we miss those cues, and it's very easy to miss those cues because they come for just a minute or two and then they're gone. If you go to the bathroom and come back, you've missed the cues, right?
And there is another misconception here that if you allow the baby to tired, which you are coming to over tiredness, the baby will sleep well.
Yeah, but in fact, it's the opposite that is true. तो होता क्या है कि those early sleep cues come and go. Then that 2-hour window closes.
Yes.
Okay, the deadline is crossed.
Yes.
So now the baby looks very awake, very playful,
Very active.
very active, hyperactive. And then we think, okay, उसको तो नींद नहीं आ रही है. And everyone around us will say, अभी क्यों ले जा रही हो सोने के लिए खेलने दो, right? But what has actually happened is that the body has released cortisol to wake up the baby. That cup of coffee has been served. This is called the second wind. Now, at around 2.5 hours, the baby will start to look fussy, cranky. तब हमें लगता है, okay, सोने का time आ गया. But अब हम जब सुलाने के लिए ले जाएंगे, the baby will fight the sleep. Will be fussy at the breast, fussy with the bottle. It'll take endless rocking and walking. Baby will cry. Ab now at this point we might persevere. We might say कि नहीं अब तो सुलाना है. But very often at this point we'll say अभी भी नींद नहीं आ रही है, छोड़ दो. इतना रो रहा है ना? खेलने दो थोड़ी देर और. फिर eventually they will crash out. But the damage has been done. A lot of cortisol has been produced. Now the nap will not go well. Okay. So now the baby will wake up early from the nap because of that cortisol production. Or even if अब हमने इतना थका दिया that the baby has crashed out and taken a long nap, but still there has been a lot of cortisol production.
Yes.
So this cortisol production goes on through the day and it causes night wakings. Right? Now, so this is about the importance of the wake window, early sleep cues. Go with the early stage of tiredness. Don't wait for second wind, late stage of tiredness, all of that. Now, the flip side of this is when your baby sleeps, he needs to complete his sleep. So we have to look at each nap as though we are recharging a cell phone. It has to reach 100%. If it gets unplugged at 50%, we have to plug it back in. Right? So that it reaches 100%. Otherwise, the battery life is affected.
Yes.
So in the next wake window, the cortisol production will start early. Right? So ab aa jata hai aapka how to manage naps. And please remember, this whole thing is about the daytime naps. The night sleep is controlled by the daytime naps and the daytime schedule. तो हमारी सारी मेहनत डे टाइम नैप्स में जानी है और उसी से हमारी रात की मेहनत कम होगी, राइट? सो वी हैव टू इन्वेस्ट इन द डे टाइम नैप्स. So now comes the 3 principles: contact, bridging, and pitch darkness. So how to ensure that the cell phone doesn't get unplugged? You need a pitch dark room so that there's no stimulation. You need contact until your baby outgrows it, around 8 to 10 months. But if your baby is younger than that, you need the contact, you need the holding. And the third is that you need bridging, which means that your baby is going to wake up in the middle of the nap. You have to feed your baby or rock your baby back to sleep to reconnect the charger so that the baby goes back to sleep and completes the sleep, completes the nap. That is how you ensure complete naps and your baby will not be overtired as a result of that. Now, why do babies wake up? So when I said the baby is going to wake up in the middle of the nap, why? और उस time लगता है कि चलो baby उठ गई, nap finished. But the nap is not finished. Usually that happens only because it's the end of a sleep cycle.
Yes.
Right? So all human beings sleep in cycles. Even you and I sleep in cycles. When we fall asleep, we go through 5 stages of sleep: drowsy, light, deep, deepest REM. This takes us about 2 hours as adults. Now, at the end of every sleep cycle, all of us wake up. Even you and I wake up. But we don't realize we're awake. So we will just roll over or pull up a blanket and we'll go back to sleep. We will not remember the next morning that we actually woke 3 or 4 times the previous night. But we did.
Yes.
Now, babies develop these cycles at the age of 4 months. That is one of the primary causes of the notorious 4-month sleep regression.
Yes.
So now their cycles are about 40 minutes long. They will also wake up at the end of that 40 minutes. But the difference is, unlike us, they don't know how to start the next sleep cycle on their own. So they need soothing from us to start the next sleep cycle. That soothing can be breastfeeding, bottle feeding, rocking. किसी तरह उनको वापस soothe करना है, वापस सुलाना है. This is there at night and during the day. So when I say even during a daytime nap, the baby is going to wake up at the end of a sleep cycle. That doesn't mean the nap is over. It means they need soothing so that they can go back to sleep and start the second half of the nap. This is also the real reason that babies wake up at night after 4 months. Now, this is again a very, very common concern. Almost the highest number of parents who come to me with babies who are aged 5, 6, 7 months. Very often they say baby was sleeping. फिर कुछ हो गया. So like I said, वो 3 months में there's that golden phase where they sleep. And उसके बाद कुछ हो जाता है, right? So very often, parents think, what happened? Was it a vaccination? I went on a trip. I left my mother's house and came back. कुछ baby was unwell, कुछ हो गया between 4 and 5 months, and now the baby is not sleeping, right? That कुछ हो गया in 9 out of 10 cases is just the 4-month sleep regression. So baby has now developed sleep cycles, and baby is waking at night, and baby needs soothing. This is normal. Babies develop the ability to connect cycles on their own slowly over time. Right? And it's only completed by 3 years, that process, right? Sleeping through the night actually happens at that time, at 3 years. But slowly, they start to connect some cycles. But if they're overtired, they can't connect those cycles.
Yes,
Even those few that they should be able to connect, they can't connect if they're overtired. So we have to take care of that. Plus, they might wake up and be up for an hour in the night. That shouldn't be happening. That's an active night waking. Or they wake up and they cry. Right? They shouldn't be crying. They should be waking up peacefully, feeding, going back to sleep, right? Or they might be resisting bedtime, having a very late bedtime. So things like this shouldn't be happening. But that very simple waking up, feeding, going back to sleep is fine.
It's completely normal.
It's not because your baby is hungry. हमें लगता है कि अगर हम एक बॉटल फॉर्मूला दे देंगे तो बेबी सो जाएगा रात को, right?
Yes.
Baby is not waking up because baby is hungry. Baby is waking up because it is the end of a sleep cycle. And baby needs soothing to go back to sleep, which is completely normal.
And this is why it happens that 20 minutes आपने गोदी में लेके रॉक करके सुलाया या ब्रेस्ट पे सुलाया, and the moment you put on the bed, like after 15-20 minutes मैम ये तो जग जाता है, because after 40 minutes the baby will change from one cycle to another sleep cycle. And उस टाइम पे अगर हमने bridge नहीं किया, उसको physical contact नहीं दिया, तो then he will wake up, he or she will wake up, right?
Yes, 100%. See, that waking up is going to happen even if they're on you. But it's just that कभी-कभी वो बस थोड़ा सा move करके they feel comforted and they go back to sleep.
They feel secure. If you are giving contact naps, then they will go back to sleep even without feeding also.
Even
but
without
on
feeding?
The bed, it is not, they don't feel secure. It is a kind of, you can say separation anxiety or the ki I'm not in secure place. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, if they're on you, even if they want to feed, they'll feed and they'll go back to sleep. But agar wo bed pe honge, it's a 50-50 chance.
Yes.
Ki they might feed and go back to sleep. They might not even go back to sleep. Aap feed kar bhi lo, aap bridge kar bhi lo, feed kar lo, rock kar lo. 50% chance hai that they will go to sleep or they won't go to sleep. Because if they wake up on the bed, they don't feel secure. Their nervous system goes into an alert state.
Survival.
Right? So unko lagta hai, it's not a conscious thought, it's an instinct ki it's not safe to go back to sleep. Right? So then they may not go back to sleep, then your nap is botched. Okay, to gadbad ho gaya fir to. So this actually, all these factors have to go together. All these things, wake window, pitch dark room, contact, bridging, all of this, ये सब साथ साथ काम करती हैं. इनमें से अगर कोई एक फैक्टर भी मिसिंग हो तो वो खिचड़ी पकती नहीं है correctly, you know, then something is wrong.
Yes. And ma'am, you mentioned the bedtime routine, the simple bedtime routine you told, like 5-6 steps of like you can do in 15-20 minutes, and there is a term is fixed schedule. So in first 3 months, which is better, of course, the bedtime, like the routine and the fixed schedule. So 3 months में, as you mentioned that कोई ऐसा fixed schedule नहीं होता है और ऐसा, तो which is better, like routine or the fixed schedule in first 3 months?
Yeah. See, in the first 2 months, though, there is neither routine nor schedule. Okay, I would say. In fact, I would say in the first 3 months, there's the maximum you can have is a little bedtime routine. Okay, and yes, try to follow these norms that we have discussed so that your baby's total sleep is correct. And yes, you are following the wake windows. But other than that, there is no schedule or no routine. At 3 months, your baby will slowly start coming into a routine, right? Where their night and day is set. You know कि चलो 3 से 5 naps होंगी, right? उनके wake windows इतने होंगे, थोड़ा सा schedule आने लगता है, right? After 4 months, it becomes a little bit more solid. After 5 months, even more solid. मतलब 5 months पे हमें clearly पता है कि 4 naps होंगे.
Yes.
वो 3 नहीं होंगे, 5 नहीं होंगे, 4 ही होंगे, right? At 6 months, again, they shift to 3 naps, right? So you know that this is going to be their schedule through the day. Now, so when you say schedule, it should not be a military schedule. ये नहीं है कि every day the child has to wake up at 6:30 a.m. And every day the child has to sleep at 7 p.m. And every day the nap one is going to be at 8:30. Babies don't read clocks.
Yes.
So, yes, they should have a rhythm in the day. Usually when they have that rhythm, वो आधे घंटे का ऊपर नीचे होता है, right? So I would say कि if your baby's regular morning wake up time on average is 7 a.m. तो कभी 6:30 हो जाएगा, कभी 7:30 हो जाएगा. Usually around 7 ही होगा, 7:10, 6:50 थोड़ा हो सकता है, हाँ, but इतना थोड़ा सा range हो सकता है. After that, follow wake windows, right? So if you know your first wake window is going to be 1.5 hours, so if your baby wakes at 7, that means the nap is at 8:30. If your baby wakes at 7:30, your nap is at 9, right? So it is not time based, it is wake window based. Then again, some days your first nap might be 1 hour. Some days your first nap might be 1.5 hours. So if your baby slept at 8:30 and woke at 10 and your next wake window is 2 hours, then your baby's nap is at 12. If your baby woke in the morning at 7:30, their nap was from 9 to 10:30,
Yes.
then their nap is going to be at 12:30. So it is a rhythm कि कभी आपका second nap 12 बजे आ रहा है, कभी आपका second nap 12:30 आ रहा है. तो कोई बहुत बड़ा वेरिएशन नहीं है, बट इतना फिक्स्ड भी नहीं है कि हम मिलिट्री टाइमिंग से चल रहे हैं. There is a big myth out there, which is again a kind of, you know, that Western sleep training model का myth, जो अब बहुत question में आ गया है, कि your baby needs to have a fixed bedtime, कि रोज 7 बजे सुलाना है. Okay, now early bedtime is very good. Okay. Newborns can have late bedtimes. Slowly it comes earlier. I usually say that by 4 months, aim to have a 9 p.m. bedtime. By 5 months, 8 p.m. 6 months, 7 p.m. Right? इससे early चल रहा है तो it's okay. 4 months से very good. But latest 9 p.m. Right? बट इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि 8 बजे कोई अलार्म क्लॉक चला गया कि सोना है. इट विल वेरी अ लिटिल बिट बेस्ड ऑन द नैप्स एंड द वेक विंडोज, राइट? So it will sometimes be 7:30, it will sometimes be 8:30. So you need to have a rhythm. Your baby should have a nap routine, should have a nap schedule based on wake windows. But it is not a timing based fixed schedule. Plus you should follow a bedtime routine as your baby gets older, even a pre-nap routine, which means a few steps that you take before naps and before bedtime to signal that bedtime is coming, sleep time is coming. Now, one exception to this is just before nap transitions. So, a nap transition means that your baby is shifting the number of naps.
Yes.
And this happens very regularly. So like I said, 5 months पे वो 4 naps ले रहे हैं. 6 months पे they shift to 3 naps. That is a nap transition.
Yes.
Between 8 and 10 months, they shift to 2 naps, right? So that is again a nap transition, right? Then they shift to 1 nap between 15 and 21 months. It's a big range, right? These are called nap transitions. Just before they drop a nap, bedtime shifts later.
Yes.
And just after they drop a nap, bedtime shifts earlier. तो होता ये है कि sometimes we are so worried कि वो bedtime late हो रहा है, तो हम nap से जगाना शुरू कर देते हैं.
Yes.
या हम एक nap skip कर देते हैं और फिर उससे बहुत chaos हो जाता है.
Yes.
So you have to be okay with the fact that before a nap transition, your bedtime is going to shift slightly later. It can even reach, if your bedtime is generally 7, it can even reach 9, 9:30. If it reaches 10, that means अब nap drop करने का time आ गया है. And then when you drop the nap, it might shift to 6 p.m. For a while. And then it'll again stabilize between 7 and 8 p.m. So there is this bedtime shift that happens. All of this we explain in great detail in our book. Right?
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
I talk about all this on my Instagram also. Nap transitions are, one of the most common times that parents come to me for support.
Yes.
But all of these shifts and schedules are described in the book chapter wise, like age, we have age wise chapters.
Yes,
so we
yes,
explain
yes.
0 to 4 months mein kya hota hai, 5 to 7 months mein kya hota hai, 8 to 15 months mein kya hota hai, and what are the nap transitions, how does the schedule shift with sample schedules and all of that. But yes, the point is that we need to understand that baby sleep is dynamic. It changes every month. So we cannot expect that एक बार set हो गया तो set हो गया. Like when you're saying routine or schedule, right? It's not कि एक बार set हो गया तो set हो गया. We have to understand the logic.
Yes.
We have to understand the science behind
Science
it.
behind it.
And then we will be able to use that logic and that science on our own
Yes.
to know कि अब क्या shift हो रहा है. अब अगले महीने क्या होने वाला है, right? कि अब ये week window थोड़ा बढ़ गया है. How do I manage that? So it's like learning a language. Once you learn the ABC, you can make any number of words from it, right? So it's like that. Once you learn the science, the language of baby sleep, you are able to manage these shifts in schedules, shifts in routines, right? Very well.
The nap transition is happening with my daughter also. She's 9
9
months
months,
old.
yes.
And earlier she used to sleep 7:30, between 7:30 to 8:30, sometime between like 7 to 8 also. Like that is a range ki 1 hour का ऊपर नीचे होता था उसका. But now she's sleeping around 9, 9:30 because from the 3 naps to 2 naps transition, because sometimes she takes 2 naps also, sometimes she takes 3 naps also. So accordingly वो उसका bedtime shift हो रहा है. So as you rightly said कि we should not force कि यही बेड टाइम होना चाहिए, बट अकॉर्डिंग टू द वीक विंडो, अकॉर्डिंग टू द बेबी स्लीप, ओके दिस टाइम she should like at 9 months 2.5 to 2.75 hours ka week window she can take, and accordingly you can plan the naps and the nap duration also, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You've hit the nail on the head. That's exactly how it is. I find that there is so much talk about fixed bedtime that we get a little misled about this.
Yes. So ma'am, like I think last 10 years से या 15 years से this trend is in coming, like in Indian setup. Earlier we used to sleep with the parents, like I also, you also, with the bed sharing with the parents. But now due to westernization, due to so much content on SIDS, so much content on the like sleep training and all that, this trend is coming that we have to buy a separate bassinet for the baby, and the parent will get that in the gift. That is the most common gift giving by relatives and friends कि हाँ baby अलग से सोएगा. So what's your view in the safe sleeping environment with the like what's your view on the bed sharing, room sharing? Like as a pediatrician we encourage the rooming in, which is called that okay, if you want to if you don't want to share the bed, you can just adjustant something, you can put adjustant to the bed, and just you can take the baby and feed the baby, and then you can put back to the baby if you are scared. Otherwise, rooming in is advised for first 6 months, and that is necessary for the bonding, for the breastfeeding, for the like securing the baby and secure feeling of the baby. So what's your view on the bed sharing and rooming in?
Yeah. So, bed sharing is the biological norm for our species.
Yes.
Right? Humans have always bed shared.
Yes.
Except for the last 200 years in some parts of the world in the last 200 years. And that shift in those parts of the world happened due to certain socioeconomic reasons. It happened with the Industrial Revolution. It happened with, the capitalist work day. Certain things that happened in terms of moral values around independence, self-reliance. And, there were also things like, in France, Catholic priests forbade bed sharing because, in Catholicism, there's no contraception that's allowed, right? Okay. So if mothers gave birth to too many babies, they were overlaying their babies to suffocate them. It's a very tragic story, but these things did happen in medieval Europe, right? So Catholic priests actually forbade bed sharing because they wanted to forbid this practice, right? Okay. So there are things like this. Then there was this belief around germs that, that it's not safe for the baby to be too close to the parent, that the baby is going to fall sick because of that. Then, of course, like houses changed. Like earlier, there were big families living together. So there weren't so many rooms only in the house. Parents and the baby would sleep in the same room. And in India, it's still like that.
Yes.
But because of all these changes that happened in the West, bed sharing fell out of favor, right? Now, there is a shift happening, even in the West. So, yes, while you are saying कि India में अब थोड़ा इस टाइप का एक्सपोजर बढ़ रहा है, and we are also kind of moving away from that traditional bed sharing, co-sleeping that we used to do. But while that shift is happening in India, the West is also shifting.
Yes.
And I have a feeling that before we fully shift, everyone will go back to bed sharing. Because now the research, the anthropological research is showing us that it is not normal for human babies to sleep away from their parents. And hence it's not good for them. So like I said, Professor James McKenna, Professor Helen Ball, these are researchers who have done pioneering work to show that when babies sleep close to their parents, close to their mothers in particular, they grow and gestate. It's better for the baby. So firstly, babies report more sleep, mothers report more sleep. Baby's oxygenation, calorie absorption, stress absorption, temperature regulation, heart rate regulation, all of that improves with bed sharing. They are actually growing and gestating. Our body is creating an incubator for them, right? So it's actually very good for them to bed share.
And one more thing, the chances of breastfeeding increase.
Absolutely.
So the low milk out issue will be resolved.
Yes. So low supply issues are dealt with mostly if you're bed sharing. Rates of bed sharing for longer are higher. Rates of breastfeeding for longer are higher if you bed share. So there are huge benefits to bed sharing. So there is suddenly a change. Like even this recommendation that you've said, which is an AAP recommendation of rooming in for 6 months. This was not there earlier. Okay. This is a shift that has come. Shuru mein to in the US, the practice was ki from day one, the baby is sleeping in another room.
Yes.
So in fact,
put the baby monitor.
That was the practice. So even this recommendation is, oh my God, for the US, it's a huge thing. Ki rooming, that you should be rooming in for 6 months is a massive cultural shift for them. But still, abhi Delhi bahut dur hai wahan. I say this because I'm very aware of what's going on over there. Okay. When I speak to researchers there, they say there's no funding for bed sharing studies only, and there's a huge stigma. around
And
bed
in
sharing.
some countries, actually, the parents come to me and they say that they have to, it is mandatory to buy bassinet or it is mandatory to buy crib.
They have health visitors who come and
yes,
check
it is
this.
mandated by the government
Yeah.
that the baby should sleep in the another room.
But again, things are changing. Like there was a time where you couldn't even tell your health visitor that you're bed sharing. Now I've spoken to parents from New Zealand, from the UK, who say that they do tell their health visitors that they're bed sharing. In the US, it's still a problem.
Yes.
But
they are scared actually.
Yeah.
They say that, ma'am, we cannot tell the health visitor that we are bed sharing.
Yeah, or their pediatrician
Yes,
or anything.
yes, yeah.
And then they are actually, but in these other countries, then the health visitors are actually trained to guide them on safe bed sharing. And this is actually the way. So yes, there are all the biological benefits of bed sharing. There is also the fact that it is much easier and more convenient for the parent.
Yes.
Right? You can attend to your baby much faster. If you're breastfeeding, you can do sideline nursing and you barely even feel the wakings.
Yes.
It leads to very continuous
I
sleep.
do.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping. I just
turn
turn myself and she
Yeah.
feed and she sleep and I also sleep.
Yeah. And I'm sure if I ask you that how many times did she wake up in the night, you'll say, Pata nahi, 2 times, 8 times. I have no idea. How much.
I have no idea. She
Yeah.
sometimes of course if she's teething
There are
or
some
some other
bad nights,
issues,
yeah.
some bad nights. Otherwise, she feeds, she sleep, and I also
Yeah.
sleeping. I don't
Yeah.
wake up myself.
So I generally am in favor of bed sharing. I feel that for the parent and the baby, it is the better solution in many, many ways. Having said that, if a parent wants to use a cot or a crib, in the first year, thoda bahut chal bhi sakta hai, in the sense that, so for example, I'll tell you with my first daughter. Okay, so we bought all the cots and cribs. Okay, so when we were doing all our baby shopping, I bought 3 cots, not even one. One for the baby's room, one for our room, one travel cot also. My husband has still not forgiven me for this. And each one of them was a very good laundry holder by the end of it. Because the only thing that went into it was the laundry, or baby when she was awake and we were playing with her. Right? But chalo, okay, I'll grant you that what we tried to do was that we would try to, our bedtime was early, 7-8 p.m. So at that time, we would put our baby into the cot and we would have a monitor and I would step out for my dinner or just to do my work or, have some time with my husband. If she needed a feed, I would go and feed her, come out. Then when I went to bed, I would take her into bed with me. Right? So many parents like to do this,
Yes.
which is fine because it's safer to leave them in a cot. Many parents say, no, it's okay. We feel safer. We don't feel comfortable. Our bed is not big enough or we don't feel safe. We want the baby to be in a cot. Okay. I always tell them, see, you will be more tired. If the baby will sleep in the cot, but you will be more tired every time getting up, picking up the baby, staying awake while you feed the baby and then putting the baby back into the cot. You will 100% be more tired, but karna hai to kar lo. Okay, it's okay. But at the 1 year mark, there is a huge crib rejection that happens.
Yes.
So even if a baby has been sleeping happily in the cot for 1 year, at 1 year, they will stop sleeping because they are more aware.
Yes.
So their separation anxiety is much higher. They know this is the cot. They know that is the parent's bed. And so they stop sleeping in the cot, right? So even my daughter, I couldn't even put her down in the cot, okay, after when she reached that 1 year mark. तो उसके पहले तो वो सोती थी in the cot. But at 1 year, I would put her to bed. I would try to put her down in the cot. She knew the feel of the mattress. Okay, so she would immediately wake up. Okay, so then I just started putting her in our bed. Even if I left the room, even if I kept a monitor and I left the room and I had my dinner and my routine was the same. As long as she was in my bed, she would sleep because she knew that this is my parents' bed and this is the mattress of my parents' bed and that is that mattress of the cot and I'm not going to sleep in that, right? And then I would come in at whatever time and I would be with her after that, right? My husband and I would be with her after that. So at 1 year, cot rejection starts. So again, a very common question that comes to me with parents who have 13-month-old, 14-month-olds is that the baby is constantly waking up in the night and is refusing to sleep in the cot. Then I often say, now see, you're going to have to say bye-bye tata to the cot. Okay, now the baby is going to bed share.
For the laundry.
Yeah, exactly. Now you एक साल निकाल दिया किसी तरह, but now you'll have to bed share with the baby. At least one parent will have to sleep with the baby. The baby is not going to sleep in the cot anymore. The way that in the West especially, or wherever, if we may hear of babies who are sleeping in cots very peacefully, in other rooms also, or in the cot after 1 year also, that is usually with cry it out sleep training, right? And so, here I would just like to clarify that I know that in India, the term sleep training is it's not a very specific term. It refers to any kind of sleep management.
Yes.
Very often here in India, when we say sleep training, we just mean this, जो हम अभी बातचीत कर रहे हैं. Proper schedule, proper routine, थोड़ा sleep hygiene maintain हो. We often call that sleep training. But actually the term sleep training is a technical term. And especially in the West, it refers to a certain type of practice, which is always separation-based, non-responsive, aimed at self-soothing and self-settling and always involves crying. तो उसका most extreme form तो है full cry it out. You let the baby cry and in a room and you don't attend to the baby. And the baby will cry for 3 days, 4 days and then will stop crying. Right? Then there are now modified versions of this. You let the baby cry for 5 minutes and then you go in. Then next time let them cry for 6 minutes and then you go in. Right? Slowly, they will stop crying, is the theory. Or you can use your voice, but you can't pick up the baby. Or you can pick up the baby, but you can't feed the baby, right? Or put your baby down drowsy but awake. कि पूरा feed करके या rock करके नहीं सुलाना है. As soon as your baby is drowsy, put them down and then they have to sleep on their own. Basically, don't respond to your baby. Don't soothe your baby so that your baby learns how to self-soothe. This is the term.
Yes, self-soothing.
Break sleep associations, right?
Yeah. And independent sleep.
Independent sleep. So this is all part of the sleep training ideology, the sleep training ecosystem. And let me also tell you that there is no such thing as gentle sleep training. Okay, that's another thing that very often when we are sold something that is gentle sleep training, which is called gentle sleep training, it is just a modified sleep training where it is all these things. Let them cry for 5 minutes, go in, or pick them up, or break sleep association, don't feed to sleep, step by step let them cry, right? But the goal is the same, to make them self-soothe and to withhold parental soothing. The parent should not soothe, right? So I just want to clarify that what you and I are talking about is gentle sleep management, sleep parenting. It is not gentle sleep training. Gentle sleep training is a modification of cry it out sleep training, right? Now we know that any form of this kind of training is actually conditioning the baby's brain, rewiring the baby's brain that when I cry, nobody comes. They internalize that stress.
My feelings doesn't matter.
Yeah, my needs don't matter. When I cry, my parent is not going to come anyway, so why should I cry? Right? But this leads to a long-term psychological trauma and harm. It affects their emotional security, their confidence, their anxiety levels. In the future, as older children, as teenagers, as adults, right? So now there is a lot of debate about sleep training. And it's not something that is considered biologically normal.
Yes.
It's not how the species was designed. Again, it's one of those things that India mein abhi iski awareness बढ़ रही है, but the rest of the world is turning around on this, realizing that sleep training is not okay. And is so very soon I hope everyone will head in this direction.
Opposite chalta hai. India जब start करता है, West will in everything actually.
Yeah, but hopefully we will turn around together. That but yeah, I mean, still in India, like our It's still not the norm for us. For us, it's still very much bed sharing and a more gentle approach. But because, on the internet, when you Google something, the first thing you hear is teach your child independent sleeping skills, self-soothing, break sleep associations, put your baby down drowsy but awake. These are red flags. Kyunki ab kya ho gaya hai, because it's become so highly debated. Even sleep trainers, now sleep training is a multi-billion-dollar industry. So we have to be very aware of the marketing that happens. Even sleep trainers have realized that they can't be very open about the crying. No parent now wants their baby to cry, right? So now the language has changed. It has become, your baby might protest a little. Okay, your baby might whimper a little. But see, they have to protest if they are learning something new. Aisa bolna shuru kar diya hai. Or little bit of crying. You are teaching them a new skill. Any change, there's going to be some crying, right? So I always say, look out for these red flags. Break sleep associations. Teach independent sleeping skills. Self-soothing. If you see any of these phrases, run in the opposite direction. So yeah.
Yes. So ma'am, with the bed sharing, what are the safe sleeping guidelines if the parents wants to follow and they are bed sharing?
Yeah. So there is something called the Safe Sleep 7. Which are the kind of, rules to follow for safe bed sharing. It can be looked up easily. We talk about it in our book. I'm sure you also have that resource somewhere. You can easily Google the Safe Sleep 7 rules. And actually, these are very common sense rules. But okay, it's good to be reminded. So, you should have a firm mattress. No extra loose bedding, no extra pillows or blankets. The parent should be sober, so not intoxicated with either alcohol or drugs or even just medication, a sleep-inducing medication. Parents should not be smokers, should not be obese. Any parent that, the baby should be a healthy full-term baby, should not be swaddled. As a newborn, it should be a breastfeeding baby because breastfeeding mothers go into a C-curl position, which is very protective. So a bottle-fed baby can be in a sidecar bassinet as a newborn. Then they can bed share after that as well. So there are some norms like this, which are called the Safe Sleep 7 rules. As long as we follow these rules, bed sharing is safe.
Right. So ma'am, there is one another question parents ask about the white noises uses, and there is so much information on the Google that your baby might get hearing problem if you use white noises for longer duration. So what's your take on using white noises or any other kind of music while sleeping?
Yeah. So the thing is that white noise is not a miracle worker. Okay. So there was a time when people felt that having white noise would mean कि baby would sleep better. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. It's not a miracle worker. It's not like mandatory to have it. The thing is that babies are very sensitive to sounds, right? So babies are not used to our modern world कि कभी pressure cooker की सीटी बज रही है और कभी doorbell ring हो रहा है, कभी honking हो रही है, right? So to mask these sounds, it's helpful to have some kind of little background noise, right? Which masks this. Now, white noise should not be, white noise is okay. It should not be blasting near the baby's ear. It should be placed at a distance and it should act like background noise. It should be just a little shh in the background, as though there's a shower on in the bathroom, as though it's raining outside. You can even have nature sounds, like birds chirping, breeze, rain. All of these sounds are also okay. These are natural sounds, right? Just like being a vacuum cleaner on in the next room. Now in India, we always have either an AC on or an air purifier on or a fan on. Isse bhi white noise ho jata hai. Like with my first daughter, I never needed white noise. Because all this AC and purifier used to do the job.
Humidifier now.
Humidifier. Humidifier doesn't make noise though. Does it?
Slightly,
Little bit?
slightly,
Okay.
little bit, yeah.
So all this, right? But I did need it with my second daughter because the two babies would wake each other up, right? So to try to mask that, we started using some white noise. So like I said, it's not mandatory, but if you feel that your baby is waking up due to small ambient sounds, it's okay to have some natural sounding, soft white noise in the room that is just enough to mask that sound. Now, so that is on white noise. Now, where music is concerned, music is completely different, and I'm a big fan of music. Okay. The point is not to leave the music playing while the baby is sleeping, but music helps a lot to soothe them to sleep.
Yes.
Now, so I feel that from the beginning, we should actually use music. It soothes them, and it doesn't need to be lullabies or classical music. It doesn't. The idea is not to lull them to sleep in that way or to bore them to sleep. If you use upbeat music, it actually helps you with the rocking, and that provides vestibular input to the baby. If there are, good lyrics, good instruments, a good beat, babies actually enjoy listening to that, and they tune into that music, right? And they actually don't fight sleep. So music works very well if you're rocking the baby, even if you're nursing the baby, to keep the baby's mind centered and not let it go here and there and not make them fight. Not them get they don't get distracted. In fact, I even say after 4 months, babies get very distracted even during feeds, and then वो ठीक से feed नहीं करते हैं while they're awake. So I often say do feeds also in a dark room and play music so that their mind is busy listening to the music and they happily feed. Similarly, when you're trying to feed them to sleep or rock them to sleep, play music so that their mind is busy with that music and they don't fight you. And you're able to very easily soothe them to sleep. And this helps a lot once they hit toddlerhood. And वो toddlerhood में वो music introduce करना, it's fine, it can be done. It's a little difficult because they are not used to it. So suddenly when the music starts playing, they get distracted in the wrong way, right?
Yes.
But if you've used it since babyhood, then they know that is actually their sleep cue. And they switch off from other things and they start listening to the music, right? तब भी हो सकता है. I in fact have a free guide, a baby sleep and music guide, which is on my website, where I explain how to introduce music, when to introduce, what type of music to introduce. And it works like magic. So it's a very good thing. During daytime naps, if you feel there's a lot of noise or some other caregiver is handling the nap, you can even leave the music playing. I would say don't leave it overnight because that might be too much stimulation, right? But you can play music. And, in terms of what kind of music, I always say whatever music you enjoy listening to, right? Baby will not get overstimulated by it. Whatever music you enjoy listening to, play that. If you need a starter, I usually so there's a Canadian musician named Raffi. I say he has a song called Everything Grows.
Okay.
Just if you want to experiment today, just play that song. Okay. Everything Grows by Raffi. It's a beautiful song.
Okay.
Nurse your baby with that. Rock your baby with that. Once you use that for 2-3 days, once you see that magic, try a few other songs. Like my music guide has other recommendations also. But like I said, actually, you have to use what music you like listening to and trust that your baby will like the same music. But music, I'm a big fan of. So that's my take on white noise and music.
For my daughter also, we use natural sounds like water falling, rain, these kind of sounds we use. But now she has outgrown those and my son is using same machine to sleep. Because he's sleeping in another room with my husband and I'm sleeping with my daughter. So, he said ki I will use this music now. Bani is not using. I will use. Yeah. So yes, that really helps him to go to sleep because he was not sleeping without me initially because we bed share for full, I think 4.5 years. 4.5 to 5 years. So yes, so ma'am, thank you so much for this incredible session. Actually, I really enjoyed it, and I hope mothers who are listening to this, parents who are listening to this, they will enjoy and they will use this information to sleep management their newborn baby. Any last word of advice or any takeaway message you want to give the parents?
I would say, please follow your instincts and
Yes.
try to tune out the noise around you. I often say that, if a parent and a baby were left alone on an island, they would know what to do.
Yes.
The parent would also know what to do. They would know how to read their baby. They would know how to take their cues from the baby. They would not hold back. They would do exactly what was needed. The problem is the noise
Yes.
around us. It is the things that we read, the advice that we get, the misinformation that is out there. We are made to doubt our instincts. Every mother actually knows, forget mother, even father, knows that when their baby sleeps on them, the baby is sleeping best.
Yes.
But it is when we hear godi ki aadat ho jayegi, or break sleep associations, things like that, that is when we get confused. We don't know whether to listen to our own bodies, our babies, what we're reading, what we're being advised, right? So I would say, listen to your body. What is your body telling you to do to your baby? Because our instincts have also been honed over millions of years of evolution. We have to trust them, right? And tune out the rest of the noise. That's what I would say.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was so pleasure to have you on this episode. And for the listeners, we will have another episode on the sleep training and management with Himani ma'am. So stay tuned for that.
Thank you.